welcome. I'm Jason Bradshaw, and on behalf of the Bradshaw family and staff, we welcome you here tonight. We'd like to thank all of you for attending. We know tonight is virtual, which is less than ideal. We're so used to this night every year where we're gathered with several hundred people in this room, all sharing stories and having a very special common experience. But this year, this is what we have. And we know that this year has been a tough year on so many. And the social distancing has been tremendously hard, especially after the loss of a loved one. So when we discussed as a staff whether or not we would have our service of remembrance this year, it was a quick decision. And we said, this is something that is important, maybe more than ever. So we do thank all of you for taking an hour out of your night to be with us as we take some time for reflection and a time to share. We hope tonight can be helpful as you are on your own grief journey, and we also hope that there can be some celebration as there is hope ahead. I do want to let you know that we do have our grief groups that are available throughout the holiday season and after the new year. We also have some videos that have been posted onto our website, which have some helpful tips on getting through this difficult time. So we do welcome you to go on our website, view the videos, view our grief newsletter that has come out over the past several weeks, and we hope there are some helpful hints in there for you. We hope that if there is any way that we can be of help, please reach out to us. We are here for you. We are there for you at the time of loss, and we are there for you in the days after and in the months after. So if there is any time throughout this holiday season that we can be of assistance, please reach out, give us a call. We're here for you. Tonight our service will be facilitated by our grief counselor on staff, Tony Del Percio, who will be leading us through this along with the other Bradshaw staff members. And even this year, my kids have a little role in the service also. So, again, please sit back, enjoy the service. We hope that the service can bring some solace and comfort during this holiday season. So, we look forward to the upcoming holiday season. I hope that you can have the merriest Christmas possible, and I hope that we have a new year full of hope. Again, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Mountains And so the shortest day came and the year died. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing, to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight. This shortest day, as promise wakens in the sleeping land. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. And now so do we, here, now, this year and every year. Welcome, Yule.
We are here to remember those we loved who have died. At the center of our being is an awareness of an end to a valued relationship. Our hearts ache, our tears flow. We feel a deep, tender wound because someone precious is no longer part of our life on earth. We grieve because of that physical absence, but we also rejoice to have known love. We are not alone in our grief, our tears, and our memories. We reach out to one another with love, with understanding, and with hope. Those we loved who have died unite us. Your pain becomes my pain. Your joy becomes my joy. Your hope is my hope. Some of us are far along in our grieving. Others still experience grief so fresh and intensely painful that we feel helpless and see no hope. Some of us have found our faith to be our source of strength. Some of us are angry, some filled with guilt or in deep depression. Others glow with inner peace. Whatever pain we bring to this gathering, it is pain we share. Even as we struggle to rebuild our lives, we reach out to one another in love. We will share joy as well as pain. We will share peace of mind as well as anger. We will share faith as well as doubt. We will help one another to grow as well as grieve. We are not alone.
Oh Lord, the source remember me. To the living I am gone. To the sorrowful I will never return. To the angry they were cheated. But to the joyful I am at peace. And to the faithful I never left. I cannot speak, but I can listen. I cannot be seen, but I can be heard. So as you stand upon a shore, gazing at the beautiful sea, remember me. As you look in awe at a mighty forest and its grand majesty, remember me. As you look upon a flower and admire its simplicity, remember me. Remember me in your heart, your thoughts. Remember the close, loving times we shared, the times we cried, the times we quarreled, the times we laughed. For in these times that you gently remember me, I am not gone.
A death has occurred and everything is changed by this event. We are painfully aware that life can never be the same again, and that yesterday is over, and that relationships once rich have ended. But there's another way to look upon this truth. If life went on the same without the presence of the one who has died, we can only conclude that the life we remember made no contribution, filled no space, meant nothing. The fact that the person who has died, who has left behind this place, cannot be filled is a high tribute to this individual. A life can be the same after a trinket has been lost, but never the loss of a treasure. What a week this is. Today is the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. Starting tomorrow, the days will begin to become longer to give us new hope. Jupiter and Saturn, the two planets, align to create the Christmas star, the Star of Bethlehem, which has not been seen in 800 years. So just think, if you were to go back, it was your great how many grandparents ago that saw that star. And in a few days, we will also celebrate, for many, Christmas, the birth of a baby. Three things that give us hope, that give us a sense of a new birth. But it's all how we interpret it, and it's all how we look at it. In other words, it's all based on our attitude and how we perceive these next few days. As I wrote in the newsletter several weeks ago, if we go into something with a negative attitude and say this will be the worst holiday that there will ever be, you are right. It will be the worst holiday ever. If you go into a holiday saying, I will make it the best that I can, and I will do the best and make it the best, then it truly will be the best that you can make it. It's all based on attitude, perception. The reading I just read is we have a choice in how we also may look at things. Do we look at things in life as a trinket or as a treasure? Many of you have gone on vacation. And when you go on vacation, you oftentimes pick up trinkets. Years ago it was ashtrays or thumbies or whatever they were, thimbles, or spoons, pens, pencils, matchbooks, key rings, something to remind you of that trip. And you would bring it home, and it was a souvenir, and you would stick it in your junk drawer. And you would forget all about it until it was time to clean out the drawer. And it might jog your memory, and you would have a brief moment and a recollection of that time. But a treasure is a sacred gift that is given to you that makes your world richer and far better. Treasures are something that can move the heart, that can create a sense within us of fulfillment. Truly, those who have died, those who we remember this night, were treasures in your lives that moved you, that gave you something that really causes the pain that you experience now. For the pain you feel is the treasure and the gift of the love that you were given and that you received because of the life that you lived with them. It was something that was given freely, well, most of the time. But it was something of that bond, that sense of connection. And that's why we grieve and mourn, especially during the holiday times, because we are vividly reminded of the void, that empty chair, that one less gift to buy, that one less person to be there to celebrate with. No matter how much we run or hide, we are reminded. We are also sometimes reminded of the days gone by when we go back to our own childhood and we wonder what it was like back in the old days and all those memories that we shared that are no longer the same as holidays once were. Matter of fact, oftentimes traditions seem to go away because we're so caught up in the busyness. But treasures are sacred things that somehow we must hold on to because they are what we call a sacred gift. So this holiday season, celebrate those gifts. Celebrate those treasures that were given to you and be grateful for those. Don't look at what you have lost or what is no longer there, but look what you have gained and what you have because they were a part of your life. Do not feel you have to do everything the same as it was. If you don't feel like cooking, don't cook. White Castle's, I believe, is open, so go grab a case of White Castles. Who says you have to cook? If you don't want to finish up your shopping, give out gift cards or cash. More and more young people today seem to want cash rather than gifts anyway. Take some time to be gentle with yourself. Take some time to relax. Take some time to meditate or to listen to some music. Take some time just to be gentle with you. Do not place a lot of expectations on yourself or expect things that other people will expect of you. Share your grief and share what is going on and talk about your loved one. Sometimes we feel that if we don't talk or mention the person's name, that it might be easier, but yet so many people have said to me, it's like being in a room and there's the large elephant in the room where everybody knows something's there, but no one's willing to talk about it. And one of my favorite things that I've recommended for all these years is to take a column candle in your loved one's favorite color and place a few treasures, few little sacred reminders of the person's life, and place those around the candle and light that candle and go around that table and have each person remember one thing that they are grateful for that person's life. And remember that life. Truly, this has been a very difficult and painful year for many. Some of us might even be feeling guilty because we were not present when our loved one died because of the COVID. We need to learn to let go of that guilt. For your loved ones knew you were present. They felt your presence. We cannot go back and wonder what if, could have, and should have during this holiday season. They would not want us to do that. They would want us to look at that bright star this night, that Christmas star that gives us new hope, that gives us a sense of purpose, that gives us the light to follow, to be that shining star. For none of us knows what next Christmas will bring. We only have this Christmas. So let us take a moment and remember those things that we are grateful for the lives that have been lived, for how they have touched us, and how they made this world better, not only for us, but the world around. This may be the darkest day tonight, but there's hope. There's hope with the vaccine. There is hope with the days becoming longer. There's hope with the baby being born this week. And there's hope if you set your mind to it, that yes, I can learn to live again, and I can continue to carry on the memories, and to continue to carry on those treasures, and to create new treasures with those in myself and within my family, now and into the years to come.
Breathe
A century and a half ago, Henry Ward Beecher spoke to all of us when he said, "What heart has once had, and it shall never lose." Today we pay homage to those whom our hearts have owned and had, and whom we know we shall never lose. Let us remember those who have been a light of light to us, memorializing our relationships in a ceremony of candlelight and love. And at this time, if you have received a candle, I ask that you please now take the candle and prepare it for the lighting.
We light a candle in memory of those who have handed us the gift of life. We honor those who gave us birth and nurtured us, those who endowed us with heritage and raised us, those who offered us love and cherished us. We remember mothers and fathers, grandparents and great-grandparents, and all our ancestors through the ages. We remember also those who were as mothers or fathers to us, loving us by choice rather than by chance.
We light a candle in memory of those who have been linked with us in the ongoing chain of family life. We honor those who have shared our heredity and who have experienced our common bonds. We remember sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles and relatives, near and distant, throughout time.
We light a candle in memory of those to whom we ourselves have passed on the precious gift of life. We hold dear to our hearts those we have held dear in our arms and in our dreams. We remember children who have gone before us, and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We remember both those who lived within the womb and those who danced upon the earth.
We light a candle in memory of those whom we discovered through the eyes of love in our journey through life. We hold sacred the remembrances of those who brightened our days with affection and who lit up our lives with devotion. We remember wives and husbands, dearest lovers and closest friends, those who opened us to ourselves and to life even as we opened ourselves to them and now to eternity.
We light a candle in memory of those who have walked beside us in so many ways. We remember ones who worked with us and played with us, ones who have made our time on earth more enjoyable and our experiences in this world more memorable. We remember friends and associates, those who neighbored us and lifted us up and expanded our horizons.
We leave a final candle unlit, aware of the fact that others will join our ranks in days to come, that they are doing so even now. They will stand where we stand now and feel what we feel. Our hearts search out to them. We remember also that the time will come when we ourselves will pass through the barrier separating one form of life to another. We know that as we remember today, we will be remembered tomorrow. At this time, if you would like, we ask that you light your candle and take the time to reflect on the candle and to remember what it is that you are grateful for the lives that have been lived and that have touched you. Focus for a moment, those of you who have your candles lit, and focus on the candle, the light, never constant, ever moving, changing. There are 10 candles lit on the candelabras. Even though you cannot be here physically, these candles represent those who have died that we have served here at Bradshaw's. We remember your loved ones. We are here for you, and we pay tribute for their lives. Take a moment and close your eyes, those who are with us, and picture them in your mind. See them. See their face glowing bright. See the light and feel their warmth. For they are always with us. Their hope and their love will always be there for us. For the rebirth and the renewal is there. Tonight may be the darkest night, but through this light, a new day will dawn. And as you extinguish your candle, may the smoke of the candle rise up to connect earth to heaven, connecting us to them.
Respond from home with remember them. In the rising of the sun and its going down,
We remember them.
we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of the winter, we remember them. In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of the spring, we remember them. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of the summer, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of the autumn, we remember them. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. As long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us. We remember them. Look into the flame of your candle.
Many of you stopped by to pick up your little golden bag that had the candle, but also had a ornament. And if you've not stopped by, I ask that you stop by at some point to receive the ornament. So at this time, if you have not already, I would ask that you please take time now to place the ornament on your tree. This remembrance ornament can sit in a special place, such as the tree this season. It can become a part of an annual tradition as you remember your loved ones in the years to come. It can also hang, if you so desire, in a window and let the sun catch as a daily reminder as the sun illuminates the ornament and the sparkle begins to float around. And each time you see that ornament, be grateful for the memories that have been lived and to share those memories each day. I'd like to read a parable. Once an unhappy person, probably someone who was grieving, told an old master and told the master that he had a very sad life. And he had asked the master for a solution. The old man instructed the unhappy person to put a handful of salt into a glass of water and to drink it. "How does it taste?" the master asked. "Terrible," spat the apprentice. The master chuckled and then asked the person to take another handful of salt and to put it in the lake. The two walked in silence to the nearby lake, and the person swirled their handful of salt into the lake. The old man said, "Now drink from the lake." And the person again tasted the water, and the master said, "How does it taste?" This time, to their surprise, the water tasted good. "Do you taste the salt?" the master asked. "No," said this person. The master sat beside this troubled and grieving person and took their hands and said, "The pain of life is pure salt, no more, no less. The amount of pain in life remains the same, exactly the same. But the amount of pain we taste depends on the container we put it into. So when you are in pain, the only thing you can do is to enlarge your sense of things. Stop being a glass and become a lake." In other words, this holiday season, don't keep things all to yourself. Don't tell people that I'm fine, that everything is good, that you need nothing. Don't keep it contained in a glass. Grief is to be shared. Grief is to be spread, to let other people know, because remember, you are not the only one who is grieving within your family. There are others within your family who are also hurting. So share that grief. Let others in. Become a lake and not a glass.
Which art in heaven,
You will not always hurt like this. I hope this night will have some comfort and some meaning for you. Keep the hope close to your hearts. And one morning, maybe not tomorrow, perhaps the day after tomorrow, or the next month, or the month after that, one morning the dawn will wake with you with a renewed spirit. Your grief will subside, and some small moment of force be ready for the time when you feel yourself again. That the words you have heard of hope and newness will give you that hope, and that you will not always hurt like this. When friends and family do not understand or try to convince you that they know what is good for you, gently explain to them that their gift for you this season is very simple. You need the 3 H's. You need them to hang around, to hug, and to hush. And somewhere within those grieving days and silent nights, may you find some grace and a moment of joy that helps you along the way. Once again, thank you all for being here virtually. We hope this service has meant something to you as it has meant a great deal for us here at the Bradshaws. And especially special thanks to the staff and to Mary Beth and to Grace, and especially also to Annika and Ford. Cannot believe how quickly they have grown up. And thank you to all of you for being here this night. May this Christmas season, may the new beginning give you new peace and joy. Go in peace, be kind to yourself, be watchful of your journey, be grateful for the treasures and the gifts of your loved one who has left behind and made your world richer because they have lived.